Welcome back to the Global AI Student Conference, and we're ready for our next two speakers. So our next two speakers are Felipe Flores and David Lazaro, and they will be doing a talk on generating out-of-the-world images with Azure and Stable Diffusion. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. How are you? Thank you
We're
so much
doing
for the
great.
opportunity of being here today.
How are you both doing?
Awesome. I'm real excited for this kind of workshop and for this kind of talk. What about you, Felipe?
I'm really nervous about this, but it's okay. I'm really excited about this.
Both of you will do absolutely amazing. We're super looking forward to your talk, and feel free to take it away.
Awesome. So do you mind, Felipe, to try to share the screen up and start with the talk?
Felipe, are you going to share the screen? Fabulous. Let us know if you're having any technical difficulties.
Do you have permissions for sharing the screen? If you don't have permissions, don't worry, I can do it. So just let me share my screen already here. So I think you can see it already, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Awesome, that is really cool. So welcome everyone. It is really nice to be here on the Global AI Student Conference for our first time. My name is David Lazaro and he is Felipe. So we're going to look at this awesome topic called generate out of the world images with Azure and Stable Diffusion. So this is a really cool topic for everyone. And if you have seen like all these AI generating images and all this stuff around internet, around Twitter, or everyone or everywhere you are, this is really on trend right now. So before that, Big Sal Bell, which is greetings in Mayan. First of all, let's try to introduce ourselves. So my name is David. I'm a beta Microsoft Learning Student Ambassador and a GitHub Campus expert. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I feel that this is going to be real excited today. I'm a nerd, I'm a gym rat, I'm a machine learning cat. And fun fact, today is my birthday. So it is real nice to be here on my birthday. That cat that you see on the left of my picture is my cat. It is called Cappuccino, and the things around me are Pom Pom Purin and the dog Snoopy. They are like my spirit animals, and they're literally me. So, do you think you can present yourself, Felipe?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. My name is Felipe Flores. I'm a Go and Microsoft Learning Student Ambassador. I'm here just learning, learn exciting stuff, and I'm a gamer, a bookworm. And fun fact, I've never been in the space because just know about the name of the workshop,
Yeah. So let's try to start with this workshop. This is going to be real fun. So have you ever seen these images, like these generated images? They don't look made for a person, and actually they are not generated from a person. They're not edited on Photoshop or anything like that. These images are generated by artificial intelligence, which is really cool, and it is really interesting to know. So let's try to meet the Stable Diffusion. So first of all, what is that? What is the Stable Diffusion? So Stable Diffusion is a text-to-image latent diffusion model created by the researchers and engineers from Computer Vision, Stability AI, and Lion, which is a cool database. So this basically is a text-to-image latent diffusion model that takes this text and tries, or well, this prompt and tries to generate an image that can represent that text that we are giving the model as a context. So if you see, we have an elegant cat, and we have also a fisherman versus seals, which is really interesting to see. So how this works basically is that all these models are trained on by 512 by 512 images from a subset of the Lion 5B database, which is a really, really largest and really accessible multimodal dataset that is currently existing, is growing each day. And it is really, really cool to see this kind of model working right now. So we mentioned about something about diffusion models, but that sounds like really, really weird, don't you think? So let's try to take a little deep into this topic. So the noise and diffusion probabilistic models, also known as DPMs or diffusion models, score-based generative models, or simply autoencoders, are models or a type of machine learning algorithm that are designed to remove noise, or we basically remove noise and certainly noise from our data. So these models work by using a series of probabilistic calculations to predict the most likely underlying patterns in the data, and then we use these data or this information to clear and clarify our data. So this process helps us to improve the accuracy and reliability of our data that we are using, and thanks to that, it makes a little bit more easier for us or for the algorithm to work and learn from. So basically, in a few words, the noise and diffusion model, probabilistic models, or the DPMs, are like a filter that can help us to clean up and organize messy or noisy data, making it more useful and valuable for us or for further analysis on understanding. So as you can see here, a graphic, really simple representation of this, or how it works, is the effects-for diffusion process of how we are reversing all this process from dot pixels and try to bring it to something who doesn't have that kind of noises. So to be honest, this is really complex to understand. There are like thousands of papers, hundreds and hundreds of papers and articles of a lot of persons working on these the noise and diffusion probabilistic models. If you want to, you can take a more deep into this. I encourage you to do it. This is a really interesting topic to take care of. But yeah, you don't need to understand it for this talk. Just imagine that they are mathematical and probabilistic models that give superpowers to the AI. So knowing that, now we're going to talk about the real goat into this workshop or into this talk, which is Hugging Face. But what on the world is Hugging Face? So Hugging Face is a hub, or well, we have two parts, but what we care here on this talk is the Hugging Face hub. So Hugging Face is a platform that allows us to access and to use pre-trained language processing models for a variety of tasks, such as text translation, text summarization, and sentiment analysis. So as you can see, we have here Buzz Lightyear watching open source models in Hugging Face, and he says, I could use one of those. So yeah, everyone wants a free and open source AI model, right? So these models are developed by a really huge community all around the world of researchers and developers, and can be easily integrated into applications and systems without the need of extensive programming knowledge. So don't worry about if you don't know anything about AI or how these models work. The thing is that you have access to those models. They are open source. You can try to understand them. And Hugging Face Hubs gives you a lot of tools to find the kind of model you're searching for. If you're looking for models of image classification or translation, or natural language processing models for Spanish things or for English, Japanese things, everything is there. Hugging Face is like the Lord of the Rings, one hub to roll them all. And the goal of Hugging Face Hub is to make a state-of-the-art language processing technology accessible to a wider audience and facilitate the development of new innovative language-based applications. So here's a cool example of the latest hackathon on Spanish of the Hugging Face community here on the Hispanic audience here in Latin America and Spain. So here are some cool projects. Those three were the winners of the hackathon. We have gender neutralization, sex detector, and the Mexican juridic model, which is used right now on the juridic model here in Mexico, which is like a really, really cool thing, knowing that governance is using machine learning models to predict juridic models. So, but okay, that is Hugging Face, but how are we going to use Stable Diffusion into our talk today or into our workshop? So we're going to use complete Stable Diffusion model to generate awesome images. So we need to download the model from Hugging Face and do awesome things with that. So that is how Hugging Face is going to help us today. So do you think you can explain a little bit about how we're going to use Azure today, Felipe?
Yeah, but where is Azure? Azure Static Web Apps is something we have to do. It's a service that automatically builds and deploys full stack apps to Azure from a code repository. The workflow of Azure Static Web Apps is tailored to a developer's daily workflow. Apps are built and deployed based off of code change. We have up here the deployment process, and this is just one of the tons of Azure services because there is a lot.
Yeah, so how we're going to build this thing is that this application, for simplicity of the workshop, we're going to develop into an API from Google Colab, or you can, whether you're using Colab or Jupyter Notebooks or Azure Machine Learning Studio, just for the simplicity to make it a little bit quicker and try to understand it a little bit more faster. We're going to use Colab as an API using Python and Fast API. So we're going to have our static web app. He's going to pull information from the API, and the API is going to try to use a GPU, and that GPU is going to train the model. It's going to train the model, try to return us an encoded 64 base image. Right. And we're going to decode that base image into our web app. And that said, also we're using the count-based Stable Diffusion model from Hugging Face, and we're using it from our API. So what do you think if we start and try to see how this is working? So let's try to look at how is this working. So we have here our Jupyter Notebook. So the first thing that we are using today are some things like Fast API, diffusers, transformer, accelerated Colab code. So all this stuff, you don't need to understand it. Just try to know or try to think that we're importing some libraries that we need to accelerate the process of training this model. We're also asking for a GPU, and we are also using something like Torch or importing some methods that we're going to use. Also, we're using Colab code, which is a library that helps us to do this. And what I mean with this is to try to use an API right here on our Colab code. And with that API, we're just going to pass or to return the encoded image to our static web app. So cool. So here what we're doing is just trying to customize our model, trying to customize everything that we're going to use into our pipeline of the Stable Diffusion pipelines. So we have our model ID, our type of revision that we're going to use, the data type that we're going to use with Torch, and our user authentication token that we extracted from Hugging Face Hub. And also after that set, we generate that image, and we try to call to that pipe here and to ask the model to generate that image and try to pass all the information that we're receiving as a prompt here. As a parameter, we pass that prompt to the model, and the model starts doing magic and all of this work. So after that, we just run our app, and we have already an URL running here. So thanks to Azure, and because Azure is also integrated with GitHub Actions, we can just deploy whenever we want our page. And right now we have our page running already. So what do you think if we try to prompt something? So I know that some of the club advocates use raccoons, right, as a mascot. So what do you think if we try to see an image of a raccoon drinking milk? So let's try to do it. Let's try to see a raccoon drinking milk.
Yeah.
So we're going to generate that image, and if we go to our API, we're receiving that information. We receive already that prompt as a raccoon. So we see here that our API is already doing that. It's doing all the process. So it is generating the image, and if everything is okay, we're going to see our raccoon drinking milk. But because this is an early version of a Stable Diffusion, some of the times it's not going to give us what we want, and it is also real difficult to the model to understand a little bit of this, because we need to give here a little bit more information, maybe in a table, or instead of drinking milk, drinking water. In a table, yeah, water in what?
In a table, yeah.
In a table, water in a table. So let's try to do it. Let's try to give this information. And what you need to understand here is that we're just passing a prompt. That prompt is being passed to the API. So that API is going to pass it to our model, is going to pass to, so yeah. See, we have our,
it's really fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. Generating a image with AI is real fun, and it's really easy. You just need to deploy your web application into Azure. It's a few steps. Deploying your application takes just a little bit of seconds, like 2 seconds, and making this API is real fast too. You don't have to understand or to have all your backend already done. But like I said, this is a little bit more. This is for simplicity of the workshop, to be honest. But if you wanted to do like a really web app or something like that, you will need to orchestrate a lot of things like Kubernetes, or try to have a lot of GPUs for, if you have a lot of requests for your API, well, it's going to be a lot of process that your API and your GPU that you are using is going to need to process, right? So yeah, this is just for the simplicity of the workshop. So on the real life, it is a little bit more difficult to try to host an application of this kind of way. But yeah, like we see here, we have images, we have already generated AI images. So let's try to go again into our slides. So as we see here, we have already generated our images with Stable Diffusion, but beyond Stable Diffusion, there are a lot of more things that we can use, like Dreamboot. Dreamboot is some of the things that can help Stable Diffusion. There are a group of models that help Stable Diffusion to generate more, to return to us more precise, or with a little bit more context of our images. So it is a really cool way for you. If you want, you can search on Google or on Bing Dreamboot, and the first page of Dreamboot, github.io, is going to have all the information that you need to try to understand it a little bit more. But yeah, we encourage you to try to look at all this stuff. Also, if you like Arcane, like the Neo League of Legends series, you have models on Hugging Face, like Arcane Diffusion. If you like Bangkok, you have also a model of images made by Bangkok, like they were painted by Bangkok. If you like anime, you have also a model to generate images from like in an anime way. If you like 3D modeling, you also have that kind of models. Modern Disney, Spiderverse. Well, I love Spiderverse. I'm really hyped for the new movie. So yeah, you can generate yourself images with Spiderverse diffusion, impact diffusion. You have a lot of models. You just have to go there, try to create yourself a Hugging Face account, and start looking at all the models that you have for work from Stable Diffusion. So yeah, that is all for this workshop. We're going to have a giveaway. We have this QR code if you want to scan it. We have a form fulfilled for you. We're going to bring to you to 2 persons of the audience 20 cool images of you. So if you are a winner, we're going to ask you like photos of your face and things like that, and we're going to generate for you 20 images of yourself in a lot of situations and with a lot of models like these ones that you've seen before. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your presentation, and happy birthday, David.
Thank you so much.
We have time for some questions. First of all, we have so much fun with the raccoon that you show us. And we would like to know if you have tried the stable diffusion with your cat.
Yeah. I've tried already, and it is real difficult, but yeah, I'm not finished. I want to generate more images, like the Spiderverse. I want to use different models, like the Spiderverse model, like arcane models, to try to see how will Cappuccino look into that kind of art style.
That is absolutely amazing. Even like I was thinking like Cappuccino the cat. I want your cat like sipping a cappuccino. That would be the coolest picture in the world. But we have another question.
So, have you ever tried any other application for Hugging Face?
Yes, also, actually, I participated on the hackathon that I told you that was like the first hackathon from Hugging Face. It's a community for natural language processing, but that hackathon was the first natural language processing in all Latin America and Spain. So we worked on trying to generate a model that watches videos, and from those videos, well, not all videos, but specific videos, and these videos were like recipe cooking videos. So for example, if you are watching a video of how to make a sandwich, the model will extract like all the information, like all the script of the video, and try to extract all the important words that you will need to use to create that sandwich. For example, oh, okay, you want to make a sandwich, you need bread, you need tomatoes, you need lettuce, and all that stuff. So and after that, that text is going to be, well, was placed on a web page of recipes. So Hugging Face is an awesome hub. I recommend you to look at it. Like you said, it is not only used for making art or for generating images. It's also used today by the government of Mexico in the juridic model. So I encourage you to look at all the important projects that are there.
Even on the note of the juridic model, would you like to talk about that a little more for some of us who might not know a lot about it?
Yeah. So the juridic model here in Mexico is, some weeks ago, I had the opportunity to work, well, not to work with, to talk with the maintainers of that repository, or for that repository. And they're using that model to try to search how, for example, let's try to imagine, okay, I was on the subway and I don't know, I was assaulted. They took my phone and they took my bag, and I had important things there. So I want to make a demand, or I want to see what can I do. So I put my my example of what happened to me. Okay, they have a web page, and onto that web page you can see similar cases from yourself and how those cases were taken. So it is real cool that you can see how easy for you is to try to take care of the thing that happened to you on the subway, and how do you say it? Well, to what entities you need to go, and how can you proceed with your case. So yeah, it is really interesting how the government of Mexico is using that model.
I think that is extremely interesting. And I think my follow-up question to that is like, you've done your current work in Hugging Face, and what are both of you excited about for like next projects in the AI or in the Hugging Face space?
Do you want to talk about it, Felipe?
Yeah, sure. For example, for me, it's the first time I use this model. It's kind of interesting. I'm using right now for entertainment purposes, just to know how I look in the Disney or Arcane, for example. But later, I want to improve how I can use for models that can help people around my community. For example, there are so many problems that help that can be helped with this model, and actually that's the way I'm going to, What about you, David?
Well, now that you say your community, Felipe is from a region of Mexico where it is really popular that they talk a native language called Mayan. So on Hugging Face or on the Hackathon, there were a lot of people trying to create a model for natural language processing on the Mayan language, but it is really hard work of researching a lot of things, because if you look into the internet native languages like Mayan, there's not something really formal that can help you to train your model or to try to understand how the Mayan language works and all the stuff. So I think working with native languages will be an awesome thing for me and a really exciting and intriguing thing to look at.
That's absolutely fabulous. I'm super excited about both of your next steps on both Hugging Face and in your AI journeys. And I know we have time for like one final question. So I'd love to hear like your closing thoughts or like message to like our student audiences to maybe get them excited about the potential projects they could get involved in.
You want to go, Felipe?
Yeah, sure. First of all, we encourage all the people wants to improve their skills in the AI. It's really interesting the things you can solve. We can handle the problems with AI, and it's just an advice. Just try it. David.
We might have lost David, but that's all right. Well, first of all, finally, happy birthday, David. Thank you so much for spending your day with us. And also, Felipe, thank you so much for joining as well. And I think we're about ready to go to our final session for the Global AI Student Conference, and we'll be back in just a minute.